Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Hey everyone, I hope you're having a good morning. Today what we're going to work with is conjunctive adverbs and prepositions, which are going to be a complement for connectors and transitions of cause and effect. And well, we're going to need them for writing better paragraphs. You're also going to need to start remembering a sentence variety, meaning simple sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences, and compound complex sentences. Why? A good paragraph is not, it's neither a one sentence paragraph, nor it's a paragraph that has only simple sentences. So you need to use, that's why it's called sentence variety, because you need to start working with the different kind of sentences and ideas we have, and to construct them in a very nice way, in a very formal manner. It's very important to have vocabulary. And this is what we're going to work with today, with vocabulary, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You will do a little bit of writing, but you're not going to get into it much until tomorrow, when we're going to work probably with a book. I say probably because I'm not fond of one of the activities that suits it, but we'll see. You'll see tomorrow. But anyways, I'm not thinking of today. Okay, so prepositions and conjunctive adverbs are words we use as connectors to join ideas, to join clauses. Mainly conjunctive adverbs join independent clauses. They're like the little cousins of the coordinating conjunctions, which are like fanboys. They help you join two independent clauses into one sentence. But you know how coordinating conjunctions, you have like the comma and then you have one of the fanboys? Okay, the conjunctive adverbs, boy, it's a mouthful to say. They had to do the comma. It was distracting me, sorry. Conjunctive adverbs, they need, instead of needing a comma to join independent clauses, they need a semicolon. So if you have an independent clause and a semicolon, then you have a conjunctive adverb, and then you have the rest of the clause. I'm not giving specific details because I'm going to come up with the sentences as I'm writing on my flip chart sheet, which I'm showing right now, over there. And that's basically it. Many of the conjunctive adverbs are also known as sequence markers, because sequence markers, they give us a notion of order, of sequence. That's why that's the name. Sequence markers, although they have that notion of order, the order does not necessarily imply like 1, 2, 3, like firstly, secondly, thirdly. But it also works, and they are adverbs. The L and Y indicate that. But they can also be for importance, to show more importance, to show cause and effect, which we've worked with, to show compare and contrast, which we've also worked with, to show concession, and I'm missing one because I know there are 7. But anyway, they are the words we worked with at the end of the first partial. Was it the first? Yeah, the first partial. There, I gave you a bag with little cutouts of words, and you had to classify them into categories. Those are the sequence markers, and they also function as conjunctive adverbs. If you don't remember what an adverb is, well, you should, because you saw word forms last year. But if you don't, I'll explain. Adverbs are they're like the brothers for adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns, adverbs describe verbs. If we say he's running quickly, quickly is the adverb. Basically, an adverb is any word that ends in ly, but there's also other adverbs that don't end in ly, and that's why you need to work with vocabulary. So for conjunctive adverbs, we're going to do 2 activities. Well, 2 in 1. I'm going to show you once again, I'm going to give you like the little bag, the virtual bag of sequence markers, and I will give you the categories this time to make it a little bit easier in case you don't remember, and you're going to classify the words. And you're going to write sentences with some of those words. I'll write the instructions. I'll show the written instructions right now.
And now for something completely different.
And we're back. I hope you finished the activity, I guess. The activities are meant to be done by parts. I know you will probably don't do that. Either way, you're gonna do them. I hope, because it's part of your attendance. Okay, then we have prepositions. If you don't remember what a preposition is, then well, you should, because again, it's a type of word. It's a word form. In case you don't remember, prepositions are basically the words that indicate the position, hence the main part of the word, the position of something, the position an action will take, the position of a noun, etc. For example, a very common preposition, if I grab Gudetama and say, Gudetama is in my hands, in would be the preposition. It's indicated where he is. If I say that Gudetama is on the table, on would be the preposition, because it's indicating where is he. And if I say Gudetama is over my head, well, technically it would be went over my head for Gudetama. I will pick him up, don't worry. Over would be the preposition, because it indicated where did he go to, or towards where he was directed to. Those are the basic prepositions. Then we have prepositional phrases, which use these words. They're like 150 prepositions in English, so I'm not expecting you to remember all of them, because not even I remember all of them. But I like to think I know how to use them, even if I don't remember which ones are prepositions sometimes. So I hope to get to that point with you. Well, that you get to that point. We use prepositional phrases to add information. For example, the word because, which we saw as a connector in or transition, depending on how you use it, as a connector in last week in the word search, that's a prepositional, part of a prepositional phrase. It gives additional information. It gives a reason, a cause. And you will be, as soon as you get to working with prepositions and conjunctive adverbs, you will recognize many of them, because they're not new. You just need to start recognizing them so you know when to use them. So again, they add information. Usually the prepositions are subordinators. They help us create dependent clauses, and therefore they help us create complex sentences and compound complex sentences, while the conjunctive adverbs help us create compound sentences. Okay, so we can use them in the middle, in the middle of the sentence, or we use them at the beginning, because we can. That would be the dependent clause, and well, if you remember correctly, you would have that dependent clause, and then we have a comma, and then we add the extra information, well, the independent clause, the information we need in that sentence. So I will give you, in the same way we did the activity with conjunctive adverbs, I will give you a list of prepositions. I'm going to ask you to do two things. In the case for the ones that you already know, we'll write sentences, and to that list I want you to add a few more. I will write the instructions, and they will appear right now.
One hour later.
You can see some of the prepositions you already know how to use. If or unless are used for conditionals, so you already knew those. You can use them for compare and contrast in the same way you can use conjunctive adverbs. And so, for example, as, than, of, from, or to, which we use to compare. They're also prepositions before, after, while, because, though, until, as, then, if, etc., etc. They're, I know I repeated some of those, but they're part of a bigger group. They're also prepositions. they in the same way, conjunctive adverbs indicate concession, they indicate causes, effects, comparisons, contrasts, they add information, they give order. The prepositions do that too. However, prepositions, again, we use them for dependent clauses. So we also have prepositions. They talk about more specific things, like they give. Although conjunctive adverbs also give an idea of chronological order, prepositions not only give a chronological order, but they work with time in a more open way. So after, before, when, while, until, those are used differently as firstly, secondly, etc. So they complement each other depending on the situation. We don't have conjunctive adverbs for condition, but we do have prepositions for it. We have idiomatic expressions. So, for example, in a flash, we use it to talk quickly about something done quickly, and we don't have that with conjunctive adverbs. We could say as quickly as he can, but even then, by using as, we're using together a conjunctive adverb and a preposition. So you see, the preposition, it's like the magic word that helps bring everything together. It's what makes sentences make sense. Most of the time, because every single part of the sentence is essential, but prepositions, they're like the glue, the very effective glue. They also give purpose and comparisons too, in the same way as conjunctive adverbs. Concessions too, for example, though and despite. And they give reason, cause, and effect. Mainly causes, but either way. Okay, so what I want you to do after working with vocabulary, expanding your vocabulary, and after writing sentences, I'm going to give you a text, and you're going to, you'll see the text. I want you to identify a certain number of conjunctive adverbs and a certain number of prepositions, and to just add a little paragraph of your own, whether to give your opinion or to explain what was said in the text. It's up to you. Try to use transitions for cause and effect at least once. Using conjunctive adverbs that are different for cause and effect from cause and effect. Using prepositions that are different from cause and effect. And obviously using punctuation and sentence variety appropriately. And that's going to be it for today. It's going to be very, very simple. Right? In case you have any doubts, I will have a Zoom session link on Blackboard, and you will be able to see it. And you will have like the 2 hours of the class to finish the activity. I hope you have a nice day, and we will work together. I was gonna say I will see you tomorrow, but I'm not gonna see you. We will work together tomorrow. Have a nice day.